Artist. Today you are going to be creating an observation drawing. Observe means to look closely or study something. Today you will choose some objects to study and look closely at. Observe the shapes, the lines, and the colors that you actually see in front of you and try to draw them. Observation drawing. One of the options of things that you can draw today are going to be pumpkins. Now, normally we draw pumpkins like this. Now, instead of drawing just a round shape for a pumpkin, we're going to look closely and observe the different shapes, lines, colors, and designs that we see in real pumpkins in front of us or different objects, and try to draw what we see instead of what we think a pumpkin or a certain object should look like. We're going to look at it and notice those different things about each object that we are drawing. One thing that you can do as an observation drawing artist is take photos of things that you would like to draw. That way, when you look at the photo, you can zoom in, you can notice things and look closely at them and study them. Right now, we're going to take some time to set up some different objects, pumpkins or other things around the room, and take photos of them so that we can observe them later or we can zoom in on our photos. Let's take some time to set some objects up and take photos of them.
You can just use your camera app on your iPad to take your photos. There are many different objects and things around the room that you can set up and arrange until you like the way that they look. Notice the background and notice how I'm moving things. I'm taking pictures from above. I'm crouching down and getting low to take a picture from the side. My recommendation is choosing 3 items to group together, propping them up, and then taking a few pictures from different angles of those items. After you have taken your pictures, you will go into your Sketches app. It's called Sketchbook, and it is orange with a pencil on it. You will start a new page, a new sketch, where you click that plus sign up in the left-hand corner. Then, to put a photo into your sketchbook, you will tap the icon with the 2 mountains on it and pick your favorite picture after you have looked through them. Here you can zoom in, zoom out to place that photo into your new sketchbook page. Once you have done that, you'll choose a drawing tool and a color so that you can start to trace the outside edges of your pumpkins and important lines of whatever object you are tracing. You're going to work on tracing the outline and then different important lines that will show you the shape of that object. Notice how I'm just choosing a color that will stand out. I recommend choosing black, but if you want to choose a different color, that's fine. Just make sure that you can see it. On the right-hand side, you can see that there are some layers. When you go to trace, you're going to want to zoom in on the objects that you are tracing. See how I zoomed in on this pumpkin and now I'm tracing the outside edges. Notice how I'm not just making a really fast big circle shape around this pumpkin. I'm noticing how the ridges of the pumpkin have little bumps, and they also go towards the middle of the pumpkin to make it look round. Go slowly and carefully as you're tracing, and again zoom in. This part of the process should take time because you are observing the outside edges of your pumpkin, so you can zoom in and out for each one and really notice the different shapes that each pumpkin takes. You should be right on the outside edge of whatever object you are looking at, and then finding some other lines and shapes that kind of show you how that 3D shape should be drawn. As you are doing this, you can click the eye on the layer of the picture of your pumpkin so that you can just see the lines that you traced. This is going to help you when you start to draw on your paper. It makes your image simple and just lines when you start to draw. So you just click the eye on the right hand side so that you can just see your lines instead of the whole picture with color. Once you have observed your picture or practice drawing on a piece of paper or traced over your picture in your Sketches app, then you will prop up your iPad, get a piece of paper, and start to sketch out your pumpkins. I recommend using a pencil. I'm using a Sharpie so that you can see what I'm doing. What I like to do is have my paper lined up with my iPad, and that's going to help me kind of keep the sizing correct. And notice how I'm kind of pointing at the pumpkins that I'm drawing, lining my hand and my eyes up. When I'm drawing this, I'm actually looking at my iPad more than I'm looking at my paper. I'm kind of doing a sketchy drawing technique instead of trying to draw the perfect outlines right away. Even with my Sharpie, it's okay if I make a mistake. And I'm just kind of, instead of trying to finish one whole pumpkin, when that first pumpkin bumped into the gourd, I started drawing the gourd. So wherever they kind of bump into each other, I just tried to follow the lines that I saw on my iPad and draw them while I was looking at them the best that I could. My biggest tip for you is to look at your iPad or your tracing or your picture more than you look at the paper in your actual drawing. This will give you some practice with hand-eye coordination and help you to not worry about it being perfect. It does not have to be exactly the same, but work on kind of getting the pumpkins about the same size and in the same place as your picture. Go slowly, but also don't erase until you're completely done. Try to just sketch and re-sketch over things if you don't love it, and do your best to not erase too much in this process. One thing I always recommend having, which I add here, is a table line, just to show that there's space that the pumpkins or whatever objects you're drawing are sitting on. You can always add details to your background later as well.
All right, it is time for us to go from drawing pumpkins like this to very realistic and awesome pumpkins. I can't